Well, we're thrilled to death to be here in the Cotton Bowl, and you know, anybody that's ever watched a bowl game, I think the Cotton Bowl is one of the more memorable ones in the history of America, and you know, we're having a great time, and looking forward to playing Mississippi, and likewise, I've always admired Coach Nutt and what he's done, and actually started following him clear back at Murray State and the rest, where he did some really impressive stuff, and you know, I've never been to a bowl game that I wasn't excited to be at, so they're all great, and I think we ought to schedule one after this week too. But but we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way and see if Rick Baker and his staff have another one in them after that, and go from there. But we're thrilled to be here, and it's an honor to play Ole Miss.
Could y'all just share any memories you have of the Cotton Bowl, maybe any games you watched growing up or those you've been part of?
Well, my first experience in the Cotton Bowl was when I was at OU and we played the University of Texas, and I don't know if I ought to tell all of it, but we're going down the tunnel, and I'm thinking of an exchange that took place with it's a story. I didn't see it firsthand, but Barry Switzer, Darrell Royal, and President Gerald Ford, and the fans start screaming, "Who are those two guys with Switzer?" You know, because you come out on the OU side, and then and then just for the heck of it, we left a script laying around, you know, that was a dummy script, and pretended like we just left it on the field. And I don't know if they looked at the script or if they, you know, actually, you know, tried to bird dog us, you know, oh, well, we got their script, and tried to react to the play or not. But what I do know is Anton Savage caught a ball, you know, crossing the middle. This is like the second play of the game. Anton Savage catches the ball, and he's a freshman, and he goes sprinting down there for a touchdown, and he gets so excited to score that touchdown, he drops that ball and spikes it, and I'm not kidding you, about 2 yards on the 2-yard line. He thinks it's already in, drops that ball back, and it's on the 2-yard line. Ball just laying there. He goes in there, and the rest were as excited as Anton Savage was. So, you know, touchdown, and you know, to this day, that touchdown's never even come close to getting scored, but they gave it to us nevertheless. And you know, we figured we had our hands full coaching, so we weren't going to mess around with officiating too. So we went ahead and took the touchdown, and went on from there.
Michael Crabtree, his numbers speak for themselves, but I want to know about your relationship with him. What's he mean to you personally?
Oh, well, he's a besides the fact he's a great player, he's a great example of what a player should be. Michael Crabtree's had the ability to adjust and to get all his talents to the surface quickly, and one of the reasons he has is just because, you know, he's an incredibly dedicated, hard-working guy, and he's also a real clear-minded, focused person. And you know, it was funny when he first got there, he'd hang out with all the freshmen, but he'd act like, you know, your better seniors, just as far as his ability to play. He's a great example of how you should focus in on your job as far as playing football, and probably better than any that I've had. One quality that he has, just to tell you how focused, you know, he said, one time there's a quote, and I think it's very accurate, and I think it kind of personifies Crabtree. He says, all I see is balls in the air. And I don't think he thinks about much other than that. And just to give you another example of that, you know, as he started to get on the radar screen of everybody, you know, you'd have Sports Illustrated or ESPN, you know, standing there and all waiting to talk to Crabtree. And you know, and there, I mean, he'd go like this. He'd have his helmet. It'd be after practice, and you know, Chris says, "Well, Michael, here's ESPN and Sports Illustrated," and he'd go, you know, just kind of look down, and then pretty soon, it you know, like this. Well, then pretty soon he'd disappear, and then he's gone, and he's not going to answer the phone, you know, and he, because he's just a shy person and devotes his time to thinking about football, and so. Yeah, I mean, you could have done all the big names. You could have done, you know, Nobel Prize. You could have done all the big names of somebody that wants to interview somebody, and you know, all he sees is balls in the air, and off he went. And it was just the ability to be that focused that quickly for that, you know, at that young of an age has always impressed me. And in my view, his priorities were catching footballs rather than doing highfalutin interviews, so I like that too. No, with all due respect to you guys. And if I ever hear him saying anything, I'll be happy to tell you, you know, but he's a little hard to track down.
Questions for the coach? We've got one on the front, and then we'll move over to the side.
Brandon George, Dallas Morning News. Mike, you talk about, obviously Graham's coming up with his last game here. Can you talk about just what he's meant to this program, not only just on the field, but maybe in terms of recruiting and big picture stuff like that?
But a great player. I mean, the ultimate role of a quarterback is to make the players around him better, and I think he's done that as good as anybody in the country. And so I guess that's what impresses me the most about him. And you know, I think growing up with his father, Sam, who was a football coach, helped kind of lay the foundation for all that. And, you know, the other quality he has is he never thinks he's out of anything, and you know, handles adversity as good as anybody I've dealt with. And so, you know, just a great leader, great player.
Question on the left side.
Harris Alford, Tupelo, Mississippi. Coach Leach, how much have you seen the replay over here, Coach?
Which over here? Okay, there you go.
How much have you seen on ESPN the replay of Michael's winning catch against Texas? And have you seen it much? Does it cause you to pause and slow down and look at it again?
Quite a bit, but it's more routine than folks think it is. You know, I mean, it's you know, it is kind of a deal that. You know, you work on some. I mean, it's not like, oh, look, you know, we work at some every day, and you know, and obviously excited about it. I felt like we should have been ahead by more at the time. So, you know, that part I wasn't pleased with. But the, you know, they overplayed their coverage. He threw it underneath. Crabtree did a good job turning, going straight up field. Could have gotten out of bounds if he had to, but had the end zone, so he got it. You know, and you know, I think the timing of it is probably the biggest thing. I mean, there's other plays that exist like that, but the timing of it, I think, is what makes it memorable. And yeah, I'm glad it's on TV all the time, and I think everybody should take close notice and write a lot of stories about it, and you know, and just reflect on it fondly for decades to come. You know?
We got a question on the front right.